just want to go over some more stuff with these water leaks. I had a comment from Lorraine Westwood, and she'd had issues with the door leaking into the car and she got water all on her seat. So I just want to go through a couple of pointers with these doors and issues that you might get with the water ingress. Yeah, so in the previous video I've covered the sealing of the back lights, which is the most common cause of the water leaks into the car. But Lorraine had been having issues with water getting onto the passenger seat. I'm also going to show you in a minute how to, if you've got a problem with your tailgate leak, there's another solution to that, and we'll show you how to do that in a moment. So, first things first, is the door seating properly? Because these doors, they're quite thin, they flex quite a lot, and if you've ever trapped something in the door, or God forbid you've locked your keys in and somebody's actually tried to get in the car, which they sometimes wedge these doors and pull them apart and fish keys out, or if someone's tried to break into the car, these doors can be wedged and pulled away, which alters the shape of the frame. It can even happen just over time, because they say they do flex quite a bit, and wind pressure inside the car can make these doors move over time. So if it's not sitting right, and it's sitting proud of the frame, the seal isn't squashed in properly, and you can get this water ingress getting past. So let's just get you a close-up on this flexing. So here we've got the door frame, and you can see just by pushing it there how much flex there is on the rubber to the door frame. It's moving quite a bit there, and the only way this is going to seal is by squashing this seal into the door frame. Over time as well, you can see this seal, it does squash slightly, which makes it more difficult to seal again. So one of the first things you're going to do is make sure these seals are clean, and we can apply some silicone spray. This stuff's amazing, the Worth stuff, it's brilliant, but it doesn't matter, any silicone spray. And what this does, it retracts the water. So where the water would get between the seal and the door frame, if this stuff's in the way, it just stops it. It just repels the water, and the water just runs off. So all we're going to do is, with a cloth, just spray this onto the door seal and just wipe it round. And you don't need a lot of this stuff. We're talking just a really, really small skin of we only need to do the top section, we don't need to go too mad. So there we have it. And that, if that door is just touching that, it hasn't got to be pressing it much, that silicone seal will now repel the water and just run it off down the side. So that's the first thing you can do. Now then, like I was saying about the flex on the door, when it's closed, if yours is protruding at the top, if it's not going all the way in, and the bottom is closed but the top isn't seating quite right, we can adjust the door frame, tweak it if you like, give it a bit of a tweak. So how do we do that? First thing we're going to do is just get the window down. Okay, so let's just drop that window down. Like I say, these door frames, they flex loads, which is great for moving and adjusting. So what we're going to do is just give you a bit more of a view there. So what we're going to do, back against the car, stick your knee into the door frame with the window down, just hold on to the top of the frame there, just give it a pull it a few times. Now don't go mad, because it does bend really easy, but you just got to pull it a few times and you'll find that obviously if you need to give it more, give it a bit more, but don't go mad on it. But that will pull the top of the door into the car and really give you a good tight seal on that. And that can save you replacing the whole door seal just by tweaking the door frame slightly. So if you're struggling with your knee, getting it on the door and tweaking it, you can't quite get the strength on it, an easier, probably, well, on yourself anyway, so get something like a Coke bottle, something, a wedge, a bit of, something soft really, nothing too hard, But yeah, get yourself an old Coke bottle, put it on the latch, close the door in on it, like that, so the door now is on it, and now you can just push the top of the door frame and it will give you that same kind of tweaking action. And again, don't get too mad because it will bend really easily. But with the window down, just buff, 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 job done. Obviously, if it's protruding at the bottom and the top, we can just adjust the door latch. So the check plate on the door frame, we can undo these 2 bolts and move this in and out and get that door adjusted up. Obviously, if it's protruding a little bit here, just undo them, knock it in slightly. And the best thing to do is don't undo them fully, just crack them off so that they're just slightly loose, and just tap the latch in and it will slide. You can remove these all the way, and there's a frame that you think the bolts are going to drop out at the back, but they won't. It's on a plate at the back and it won't fall in, so you're okay, you don't got to worry about that. But you're not going to take it all the way off. We're just going to crack these off just a quarter turn and just tap the latch in slightly and then do them back up again. Job done. Okay, and finally, if none of that's worked and you're still getting leaks into your car, you're going to have to replace the door seal. Dead simple, dead straightforward. Grab hold of it, pull it and just pop it out, and it literally just comes out all the way around. So you just pull it out all the way around, get the new one and just tap it back in again. Tap it in with your hand all the way around, new door seal on there. That will cure your problem. Okay, so moving around to the back. Oops, dropping my chisel. Right, moving around to the back of the car. Another one that's really common is this dodgy hinge on the back of these tailgates. Now we've covered the leaking lights and we've sealed the lights up on a previous video. But again, if this hinge isn't pulling the tailgate into that rubber, we've got a problem. This pin on the hinge, they just work out over time. Every time you open and close, this little pin just slowly works out, and as it comes out, if it gets past this hinge here, the hinge pops out and the boot doesn't close properly, and then you get water leaks in down the back of this glass. So if yours is sticking out just like this one is starting to, get yourself a little hammer and a punch, just pop it on that there and just tap it in. Just like that, and that now is holding that in nice and tight, and it shouldn't leak. These can come right out. This one previously has worked out and has come out, it came about 10mm. It's amazing. But anyway, yeah, job done. So just a few things there you can do, sort your water leaks out, and also you get wind noise through this seal. So if you're whizzing along, 70 miles an hour and the door is moving, which it does, like I say, because it flexes a lot when you're driving it. If you're ever driving and you just stick your finger up the inside of here, and you can feel the door moving against your fingers. So you don't realise these things happen when you're driving and how much the car flexes. So yeah, if you're getting wind noise through this seal, by pulling the door in, bending, just slightly tweaking the door, it'll stop it, it'll cure it. A few little things there. If that's been of any use to you, just give me a little thumbs up, drop me a comment, always interesting. Any problems, let me know. Thanks for watching.